Hi, I'm Sophie, wine club coordinator here at DeLoach Vineyards, and I'm here with our winemaker Brian Maloney to go over the wines in your September wine club shipment. Our first wine here we have is our 2012 Hawk Hill Chardonnay. Brian, you want to tell us a little bit about the vineyards and how this wine's tasting?
Sure. So Hawk Hill is one of the coldest sites that we work with when it comes to growing grapes in general, and the Chardonnay coming off this vineyard, it's really interesting. It's one of the first to bud out in the spring and one of the last that we harvest. It has a very even temperature swing all year round. It's very moderated by the ocean, by the coast. It's located right above the town of Freestone, which is really on the southwestern edge of the Russian River Valley. And what that lends to this wine is not only some great sandstone-based soil, that Gold-Ridge soil, but also just really striking acidity. In most vintages, this is a wine where if it doesn't go through the malolactic fermentation, the secondary fermentation, it would just be a little too sharp and a little too racy for general enjoyment. So what we have here is coming from two different blocks off the site. One block we call the Paul's block, the other we call Vicky, after the names of the proprietors, the people who planted the vineyard. And both are the same clonal selections, but different aspects of the hillside. And I find that we do separate fermentations, and the blending of the two together really makes for a complete wine. On the nose, this wine really shows that classic Russian River Valley style with that apple characteristic really standing forth. And then on the palate, you have that richness coming off from that long, concentrated growing season, matched with just beautiful acidity that keeps it nice and fresh all the way towards the length of the wine. Beautiful wine, great site. This is also a Chardonnay that I highly recommend laying a few down. It just improves with time. Cheers.
Next wine in your shipment is the Pinot Vineyard Pinot Noir. This is a 2012 vintage from Russian River Valley.
So the Pinot Vineyard is located in the southern portion of the Russian River in an area we call the Sebastopol Hills. Joe Pinocchio planted this site in the mid-1990s, and he used a rootstock that was more commonly used for Zinfandel, the St. George rootstock. And what that has led to is a Pinot Noir that's a little bit more vigorous growing, a little bit later ripening, but also has kind of these burlier tannins and a little bit more structure than we see in some of the more fruit-forward styles. This is definitely a Pinot that we see as one that ages quite beautifully, but also rewards because it's in that Gold-Ridge soil, in that nice banana belt of the Sebastopol Hills with some really beautiful fruit characteristics. This has been one of not only my favorites, but also our tasting room's favorites for many years now, and it's just a fantastic site, single clone, single rootstock, and just an amazing example of what unique different components do to make a fantastic wine like this. Cheers.
Cheers. Next wine in your shipment is the Nova Vineyard Zinfandel. This vineyard is located in Lake County, and this is the 2012 vintage.
The Nova Vineyard is an organically farmed site up in Lake County, just outside of Kelseyville. This is an own-rooted Zinfandel vineyard, which is very rare. These don't have any rootstocks. They're planted directly into the ground. These 50-year-old vines are essentially dry farmed throughout the growing season. They get one overhead irrigation at the hottest day of the summer just to kind of cool things off. But otherwise, it is very much a plant surviving on its own. Fantastic site. These head prune trained vines are always rich in character, and lots of full Zinfandel fruit, and that zinberry and brambliness really come out in this wine. Lake County is a little bit higher elevation than Sonoma County and also a bit warmer, and so you really get more of that jammy style of Zinfandel coming out of this Nova, this 100% Zinfandel wine. Cheers.
Cheers.